On a dark road outside Vallejo, California, two teenagers were shot dead in their car in December 1968. It was the first confirmed act in a string of unsolved murders that would haunt Northern California for years. The killer signed his letters Zodiac. He taunted police, mailed blood-stained evidence, and sent coded messages the FBI couldn't fully crack for decades. To this day, no one has ever been charged. It began on the night of December 20th, 1968. 17-year-old David Faraday and 16-year-old Betty Lou Jensen had parked near Lake Herman Road on the outskirts of Vallejo, California. Both teenagers were shot and killed near their car. It was a quiet spot locals considered safe. Investigators were left with no leads and no clear motive for the attack. Nearly 7 months passed in silence. Then on July the 4th, 1969, the attacker struck again, this time within Vallejo's city limits, closer to homes and streetlights than before. 22-year-old Darlene Ferrin was shot and killed. 19-year-old Michael Mageau was also shot but survived, later giving investigators details about the person who attacked them. Weeks later, a local newspaper received a chilling letter. The writer claimed responsibility for both attacks and included details investigators believed only the killer could have known. The letters came with something new, encoded messages made of strange symbols. The writer called himself Zodiac and warned of further attacks unless his ciphers were published. In one letter, the writer even suggested he was behind the unsolved 1966 murder of Sherry Jo Bates. That connection was never confirmed by investigators. On September 27, 1969, the attacker struck again. This time, the location was Lake Berryessa, a reservoir northeast of Napa Valley. 20-year-old Brian Hartnell and 22-year-old Cecilia Shepard were stabbed near the water. Shepard later died of her wounds. Hartnell survived the attack. Just over 2 weeks later, on October 11th, 1969, the killer struck for the final confirmed time. In San Francisco, 29-year-old taxi driver Paul Stein was shot and killed. After Stein's murder, a letter arrived at the San Francisco Chronicle with a swatch of the victim's blood-stained shirt enclosed as proof of the killing. It was the last murder ever confirmed to Zodiac, but the letters, the taunting and the codes sent to newspapers were far from finished. Over the following years, the killer sent 4 separate encoded ciphers to newspapers, daring investigators and the public to solve them. One of those ciphers, a 340-character puzzle known as Z340, was mailed to the Chronicle on November 8, 1969. It would remain unbroken for more than 50 years. The case drew enormous public attention across the country. Investigators pursued lead after lead for years, but the identity of the killer was never established. By 2012, The Guardian reported that more than 2,500 individuals had been proposed as possible suspects over the decades since the killings began. Despite the sheer volume of speculation, no person has ever been formally charged or convicted in connection with any of the Zodiac killings. Years turned into decades. The letters stopped, the trail went cold, and the case slipped into the realm of America's most famous unsolved mysteries. Then in December 2020, 51 years after it was first mailed, the Z340 cipher was finally cracked by a team working independently of law enforcement. 3 codebreakers, David Oranchak, Sam Blake, and Jarl van Eyck, worked together using modern software to unlock the cipher's underlying structure. Their solution was later reviewed and supported by the FBI, closing one small chapter in a case that had defied answers for over 5 decades. But cracking the cipher did not reveal the killer's identity. The decoded message offered no name, no confession, and no resolution to the case. In 2021, the FBI publicly stated that the investigation remains open, adding that there was no new information to share about who was responsible. That same year, an independent cold case group publicly claimed to have identified the killer. The FBI responded again, reaffirming that the case remained open and unsolved. As it stands today, the Zodiac Killer case remains officially open. No suspect has ever been charged, and the person behind the name has never been confirmed. More than 50 years later, the victims, David Faraday, Betty Lou Jensen, Darlene Ferrin, Cecilia Shepard, and Paul Stein are remembered as the human cost of a mystery that outlived its era. The code was eventually broken, the killer never was.